Well, we come back again to this session. So before I start for any problem, just I tell that last class, by an inadvertent mistake, a student has pointed out, there was some mistake that when I defined this, that it was TL dy minus h by 2, that means it is cross-sectionally average. This is nothing but dA, and here it will be L into H. That means this is A. In earlier session, I just omitted probably this L. So this will be the area average, dimensionally it is T. Okay, now we come to the second problem. The first one was discussed, that this problem is a simple problem we have to critically analyze. Let us have a plane wall. Plane wall. This surface is, this is T. This surface is kept at T1 and this surface is kept at T2. And T1 greater than T2, so that heat flows in this direction. Now the problem is this: thermal conductivity of this plane area is given by K is equal to K0 plus A into T, where A is a constant, K0 is a constant which is greater than 0. Obviously K0 is the thermal conductivity, and A may be greater than 0, A may be 0, A may be less than 0. A may have any value greater than, less than 0, and also 0. Now accordingly, that means when A is 0, A greater than 0, less than 0, you will have to plot the temperature distribution. That means the qualitatively the temperature distribution. Now when A is 0, K is K0, constant thermal conductivity. So temperature distribution is linear. But when A greater than 0 and A less than 0, where from we will start? We will start from the steady state heat conduction equation for constant area. That means it is always better, I will tell you, that you start with this. Now we always start with this Ka dt dx plus Qg into A 0. You should always start from the most generalized form of the steady state one-dimensional heat conduction. When there is no heat generation, this is 0. When there is no variation of area, then area will come out, and then ddx of K into dt dx is equal to 0. And when K is constant, d square T dx square, d dx of dt dx 0 means dt dx constant. So stepwise you will do. Now here, since it is a plane area without heat generation, I can start from here. So I can find out that if K is constant, that A is 0, then it is a linear profile. It is like this. So this is a temperature scale T2, this is in scale temperature T1. So this is a linear one when A equals to 0, when A equals to 0. But when A less than or greater than 0, the very common answer, first reaction is that it is a nonlinear but with negative slope. Obviously temperature will decrease. But the problem asks what is the nature of this profile. That means whether the slope will increase or slope will decrease. because we can have two types of non-linear thing. One is this, another is this. Which one is for a greater than 0, a less than 0? To do this, we have to find out the variation of dt dx by putting the value of k as a function of temperature. So therefore, we will do that. ddx of k is k0 plus at, k0 plus at into dt dx is equal to 0. So now if you solve it, we will get here k0 plus at into d square t dx square. Then k0 plus at differentiation is a dt dx. That means plus a dt dx whole square is 0. It is as simple as anything at school level things. So we can find out d square t dx squared is equal to minus a dt dx whole square divided by k0 plus at. Now you see, ultimately the problem is transferred to a mathematical problem. So up to this, the concept of heat transfer is involved. After that, it is mathematics. Now we can decide the sign of d square t dx square with a with the logic. dt dx square is always positive. The denominator is always positive, whatever may be the value of a. Why? Please. Denominator is always positive, whatever may be the value of a, positive or negative. Why? This is not from mathematics. Everything will not evolve from mathematics. That's why I am telling. If you feel that mathematics is all, then wrong. It is the physical concept, physical understanding is very important, because mathematics has been evolved from the physical understanding. Why? This is because thermal conductivity, which is to be positive. So it is a scalar property, thermal conductivity. So k0 plus at. So therefore, d square t dx square is exclusively with a. That means when a is greater than 0, it is negative, and a is less than 0, it is positive. Negative means d square t dx square is decreasing. Okay, that means this curve dt dx is decreasing, and this is for a greater than 0. When a less than 0, d square t dx square positive means dt dx is increasing. So a less than 0 and a greater than 0, dt d square t dx square is negative. That means the slope is decreasing. Clear? Okay? Clear? Any problem? Oh, sorry. I am extremely sorry. This is greater than this. This case, the slope is decreasing. That means the curvature is negative. This is, sorry, this convex. This concave shape is, I am sorry, this is again, that slope is decreasing. That means if you draw a slope here and if you draw a slope here, that with x, this curvature is positive, a less than 0. That means this slope is increasing. Whereas here the slope is decreasing. That means a convex shape where the curvature is negative. D square t dx square is less than 0. Okay. All right. Now here one, no, okay, this is all. There is nothing more to say with this problem. There is an area there is a rod like this. The same thing which we did, an application that I told, the lateral surfaces are insulated. Now x, this is x is equal to 0 and the area is A0. Heat is flowing in this direction because of the temperature difference. Some temperature is made constant temperature at this phase and some constant temperature at this phase. Temperature at this phase is more than this phase, which is not prescribed in the problem. What is prescribed in the problem is that AX at a distance x is a function of x. That means this is AX is A0 e to the power AX. This satisfies that at x is equal to 0, the area is A0 and that increases exponentially. Using this expression, determine the temperature distribution. Okay? Considering the presence of volumetric heat generation rate. Now first, without the heat generation rate, well, and then with the heat generation rate. So, heat generation rate is this, Qg is equal to Qg is equal to Q0 e to the power. There is a volumetric heat generation rate which is a function of x only. It is a one-dimensional problem. So as I told that cross-sectionally average temperature or a temperature uniform over the cross-section, whatever you take, this is T is a function of x. Now again, the problem will start with the same equation as I told, that ddx of the problem will start from the same equation. When Qg is 0, that means there is no volumetric heat generation, then it is very simple, then ddx of Kax dt dx is 0. When Qg 0, that means there is no volumetric heat generation, then ddx of Kax dt dx is 0. Now in this problem it has been told that the thermal conductivity is constant. That means simply K comes out, that means ddx of Ax dt dx 0, that means Ax dt dx first integration yields a constant which I call at C1, call as C1, tell as C1, written as C1. Okay, then it is simply the integration dt dx C1 by Ax. Ax is A0 e to the power Ax. That means C1 by A0 e to the power minus Ax. Well, then you can integrate it. T is minus minus C1 A by A0 e to the power minus ax plus C2. Now this you can find out both the C1 and C2 provided you know the boundary. This is a general expression for T. In terms of two parametric, hello please. Oh, A will be, it is an integration. I am sorry. A will be in the denominator. Very good, very good. E to the power minus ax. So, denominator, it is an integration. If it was differentiation, it was there. Okay, minus 1 by A. Very good. So, it will be in the denominator. So, this is the expression in terms of two parametric constants C1, C2, which will be found out if I know this temperature T1 and T2 at x is equal to 0 and at x is equal to L. If we have to prescribe this length as L, then in terms of T1, T2 and L, this C1, C2 will come. So this is the first part. Okay? Now next one is the heat generation. What is the heat generation? Q0 e to the power minus AX. So this thing, if you take care of, then you write here this. That means in that case, it will be ddx of, by taking the thermal conductivity of course plus Qg into Ax. Qg is okay, Q0, Qx is Q0 e to the power minus Ax into Ax. Ax is A0 e to the power Ax. Q0 e to the power minus Ax is the Qg and Ax is A0 e to the power Ax. Okay? Qg K, sorry, K will be there, I am sorry, K. So now, if K is constant, then K will come out, K will go here, doesn't matter, this divided by this, then e to the power minus Ax, e to the power Ax will cancel out. That means let me write this ddx of Ax dt dx. Now Ax is also A0 e to the power Ax dt dx. For constant thermal conductivity is Q0 A0 by K. There is nothing great in it because it is simple mathematics. If you do it very carefully, it will be all right. But your concept is okay. By chance, if you do some mistake, I think mathematically, it's not a serious thing. But for exam purpose, some marks you may lose. But so long you can write the correct governing equation, you get maximum credit because that is the main part. Then of course you have to be very careful about the mathematics. Now only thing is that you have to find out T as a function of X. It is purely a problem of simple integration. Now a heat flux distribution. They have asked what is the heat flux distribution? Actually this is the heat flux. ddx of minus Qx. Qx is minus Kax dt dx. Qx is minus Kax dt dx. That means I can write ddx of minus Qx. Qx is minus Kx dt dx plus Q0 A0 is 0. That means from this step I can write, if I have to find out the distribution of heat flux. That means not here, yes, distribution of heat transfer Qx, not the heat flux, distribution of total heat transfer per over the area Qx. Then we get dqx dx is q0 a0, which means that q0 a0 is constant. That means heat flux is linearly increasing. That means qx is q0 a0 x plus some constant c, whose value is the value of q at x is equal to 0. If you put x is equal to 0, then you get c. Okay, so this is a linear distribution of heat flux. So therefore, be sure that you write this expression, general expression, that ddx of qx plus qgax is 0. That is your equation for variable area, variable thermal conductivity, and qx is kax dt dx minus. So this is minus, actually minus qx. So if you have to find out the temperature distribution, you write in this fashion. If you have to find out the heat flux distribution, you write ddx of minus qx. That means minus dqx dx plus qg into x is 0, which is the first line after derivation. qx plus del x. qx plus del x is qx plus qg into ax times del x. Del x is cancelled because this is valid for any element of any del x. So therefore, del x is vanished and we get this expression minus dqx dx plus qgax equals to 0. Okay, clear? Now next problem is, we have, what is the problem? Problem is that we have a plane wall of thickness 40. That means a plane wall. I am doing in an exaggerated or amplified version, that L is equal to 40 millimeter. Plane wall 40 millimeter and thermal conductivity K is 5 watt per meter K. Okay, very good. Experiences uniform volumetric heat generation rate Q dot. That means here in my nomenclature Qg is constant. So there is no variation of Qg. Very good. The problem is simple. While convective heat transfer occurs at both its surface, x is equal to minus L and plus L. That means the problem is given like this. I am translating this fashion. 2L is the, and there is a figure for this problem. They are taking this. This is x is equal to 0. That means this is x is equal to minus L and x is equal to plus L. That means 2L is equal to 40 millimeter. So they have prescribed that. That's why they are telling that convection, while convection heat transfer occurs at both the surfaces, x is equal to minus L and x is equal to plus L, both surfaces. X is equal to, that means the convection heat transfer. Heat is transferred in both the direction. The way I have done that, both surfaces the convection is there. So convection to the fluid, convection from the surface. That means surface is being cooled by convection. I am not bothered whether it is natural or forced convection. Some convection is there, or which takes the heat from the surfaces, because surfaces becomes hot due to the internal heat generation. That's all. I am bothered for this type of problem, the knowledge which I have up to the date, that whether heat transfer coefficient is given or not. No, heat transfer coefficient is not given. Instead, what is given? that temperature distribution within the solid is A plus Bx plus Cx square, where A is 82.0 degrees Celsius, B is minus 210 degrees Celsius per meter, and C is minus 2 into 10 to the power 4 degrees Celsius per meter square. X is meter, X is in meter. Origin of the x coordinate is the mid plane that I have already shown. Now what they ask, what is the value of volumetric heat generation rate Qg? Determine the heat flux Q, the heat flux at minus L and heat flux at plus L. What are the convection coefficient at x is equal to L, and what is the convection coefficient at x is equal to minus L? All these things have to be found out and obtain an expression for the heat flux distribution Qx as a function of x. So many things are asked for. This is because the problem is very simple. Now you tell me, first we have to find out the Qg. What equation we'll start with? This is a plane area, no variation. Thermal conductivity is also constant. They have not told the variation of thermal conductivity. Thermal conductivity is also constant. So what we will do? We will start from which equation? Please tell me. Please. So therefore, we will start from this simple equation d square T dx square plus Qg by K. This is plane area. So we can develop this if we remember only one formula, or we can derive it from the fundamentals, that ddx of K Ax dt dx plus Qg Ax 0, then everything is done from a simple heat balance or energy balance from a variable area. Then for constant area and constant thermal conductivity, this becomes this, which is a special form can be obtained directly from the general heat conduction equation. So if you start from this, then Qg is equal to minus K d square T dx square is as simple as this. What is d square T dx square? Tell me. I may make a mistake here. Always I am doing. Now dt dx is b plus 2cx. So therefore d square T dx square is 2c. Okay. So 2c. That means minus k into 2k into c. So the value of k is given watt per meter K. The value of c is given 2 into 10 to the power 4 degrees Celsius per meter square. So if you substitute this, this will come. I am giving you the answer is Q is what? Oh, they have not also found out the answer. 2 into 10 to the power 4, 5, you just 10 into K into C, 10, and 20. 20 into 10 to the power 4. 20 into 10 to the power 4, this is minus plus 20 into 10 to the power 4 watt per meter cube. So that you can get the answer. Okay? Alright. Any problem? Very simple. Hello? Do you have a problem? Okay. Now the next part is how to find out the heat flux Q minus L and Q plus L. How to find out? Q plus L and Q minus, very simple, that Q at L is minus K dt dx at L is equal to minus K dt dx is, what is dt dx? B plus, oh God, B plus 2Cx. Similarly, you can find out Q at minus L is equal to minus K 2Cl minus K B minus 2Cl, because X is plus L and X is minus L. Clear? And the value is, this value, if you put the value of K and if you put the value of B, K is 5 and B is minus 2, 1, and the value of L, L is 20 here, plus L minus L, 2L is 40 millimeter, you get the value of the Qx at L is 5050 watt per meter square, because it is per unit area. Here normal a plane area, so always we express in terms of per unit area, that is heat flux. It is simply multiplied by the area at any section, it will give you the heat flux. And this thing is equal to Q minus L comes to minus 2950. So if you substitute the value with the sign, you get this. This proves that the QL is in the positive direction of the x-axis and Q at minus L is the negative direction. So the heat flowing out is this plus this, which will be equal to the, you can check the value of Q we have obtained, that Q into the volume, that means cross-sectional area times the length. So per unit area, this has to be matched. You see that it will be matched. So that these two fluxes added together must be equal to the total heat generation per unit area. That means your Q value is there times the 40 millimeter is the length. Clear? Now how to find out H? Next is that how to find out H at x is equal to L and H at x is equal to minus L. Here what you do, you take at L. So this heat has to be transferred by convection, and by definition of heat transfer coefficient, the convection heat transfer can be written as per unit area heat transfer coefficient into the difference of temperature, means surface temperature minus the air temperature, which we tell at free steam temperature. So free steam temperature has to be given for the problem, otherwise I cannot find it. So free steam temperature is given, yes, 20 degrees Celsius. That means free steam temperature T infinity is 20 degrees Celsius. So therefore you can find out this H at L. H at minus L, you take the scalar value, this is the heat to be transferred, and this will be equal to T minus L. T minus L minus T. Okay. Whenever I am finding out with the surface temperature minus the free steam temperature, the surface temperature is always higher than the free steam temperature. You understand, I am not finding out with the directions, I am finding out the quantity of heat that is being transferred by convection. So therefore I will not do it with the plus minus sign. In that case a scalar quantity like H will come as a negative value. H is always a positive, it is a heat transfer coefficient. You understand? So therefore the scalar value of the heat transfer is being equated with this as the surface temperature minus. So TL and T minus L are already found out. How? We have found out QL, Q minus L. So TL and T minus L will be found out by substituting X by L and minus L. This will only change. And ABC we know, so it is extremely simple school level thing, so that one can get the value of HL and HC, and the values are, what are the values? I tell you, whether they have done it correct or not, I don't know. What are their values? You just check. If you do it correctly, so your thing will be correct. Watt per meter square K, 101 watt per meter square K. Now, this is the value of HL and H. Well, I have done the wrong thing. This will be 101. This, they are right and left. So right is 101, means right is L plus L and left is minus L, 51. This is 51, sorry, this is 51 minus L, 51. And next is the heat flux distribution. Heat flux distribution is very simple. Heat flux is minus K dt dx. So simply multiply dt dx, that is B plus 2Cx. K is constant, that means heat flux is linear. Okay? Clear? Any question for this problem? Very simple problem. Hello? Okay. So these problems are very simple, and in examinations also this type of problem will come. Now there will be a problem which is little different from what we have done so far. This problem is like this. Now this is a problem, try to appreciate. I hope all of you can see. That problem requires the description. Well, in a manufacturing process, a transparent film is being bonded to a substrate. This is a practical statement of a practical process. This is a transparent film which has to be bonded on a substrate. This is not our botheration, why this transparent film is being bonded to the surface, or some metallurgical things or some process operation which I am not bothered of, or we are not bothered of. But this is the problem, film and the substrate. To cure the bond at a temperature T0, that means bond surface should be maintained at a temperature T0. And to cure this bond so that it is maintained at this temperature T0, a radiant source is used to provide a heat flux Q0 double dash watt per meter square, all of which is absorbed at the bonded surface. That means this radiant heat comes through the film, where the film acts as a transparent medium, and all the heat which is being incident there is being absorbed by the substrate. Okay? The back of the substrate is maintained at Ti. That means this is the back of the substrate which is maintained at a constant temperature Ti, while the free surface of the film is exposed to air. That means this surface of the film is exposed to air at free stream. This air may be flowing, may not be flowing. This is shown to show that this air at T infinity temperature provides a convective environment to have a convective heat transfer or convection heat transfer from the film surface. Film surface becomes hot, obviously. The heat is absorbed at this bonded surface, film and substrate, from where the heat will come out and film will be hot surface, free surface the heat will come out. Assume the following conditions, that means the air temperature is 20 degrees Celsius, H, the convective heat transfer coefficient is 50 watt per meter square K, and the back surface temperature Ti is 30 degrees Celsius. Calculate the heat flux Q0 double dash, that is the radiant heat flux that is required to maintain the bonded surface at 60 degrees Celsius. That means bonded surface T0 is 60 degree, Ti is 30 degree, T infinity is 20 degree, H is 50 watt per meter square. So with all these things I have to find out the radiant heat flux. So problem is well understood by the language. Now you think in terms of the energy flow, that is the heat flow. What happens? This entire heat flux, now this is a plane area problem. No, you just switch off the light. When I will go to the board, then only switch off, please. So now this is a plane area problem. So only in terms of heat flux we will tell. So the heat flux is being incident on this surface. Film is transparent. Now you see, when the heat comes here, a part of the heat, physically try to understand, is going through the film by conduction and then from its surface by convection. And a part of the heat will go to the substrate by conduction. Convection has not to be taken into account because the temperature boundary condition has been given, which means that by taking into convection heat transfer, temperature is fixed. You have seen that whenever we are doing with prescribed temperature at the surfaces, we are not bothered about convection because convection may be there, and because of the convection somehow he has kept the temperature T1, T2, which is given for the problem. So a student from pure mathematics point of view, we will see that when T1, T2 is given, I don't require H. Problem is solved. But physically, that the convection heat transfer is taken into account to prescribe that temperature at the surface. This concept has to be made very clear. So therefore, here the comes due to conduction from this temperature at the bonded surface to the temperature at the back. So this is purely a one-dimensional heat transfer through the substrate and film, which is flowing in this direction through the film and downward through the substrate. So if we understand this heat flow scenario, then we can construct the thermal circuit. Then heat is divided, this Q0 dot into two parts. One part is going in series by accepting this or overcoming this conduction resistance in the film, then overcoming the convection resistance in the air film over the film surface. And another part is going, overcoming the conduction resistance in the substrate. This is simply the problem. Alright. Any question? Okay. What are the temperatures? Let me, I have not told that LF and this value. This is also shown there. But however, I am drawing it again. Don't worry. So this problem, this is film, this is substrate, this is Q0 double dot, T infinity is given as, what is T infinity? 20 degrees Celsius. H is given as 50 watts per meter square K. This has to be found out. Now this distance, this is LF, length of the film, where the length of the film is given as 0.25 millimeter. 0.25 millimeter. Now the substrate length LS, length of the substrate, which equals to 1.0 millimeter. This surface is kept at Ti, which is equal to 30 degrees Celsius. What else is required? K. Thermal conductivity of the film, Kf, is given as 0.025 watt per meter K, and Ks is equal to 0.05 watt per meter K. So these are the values given, and we have to solve this problem. So as I told you earlier while showing this problem earlier, that this is a problem where we have to conceive the energy flow. It is a steady state problem. Now the Q dot, Q0 double dot, that double dash, a part of it is going through it. Let this is Q1, and a part of it is going through this. Let this is Q2. That means Q0 double dash is equal to Q1 plus Q. Now, what is Q1 going there? Q1 is by the conduction. Better you draw the electrical analogous circuit. That will be better. So let me draw that. That will, without writing the equations, if you understand this, hello please, if you understand this, then it will be better that now the radiant heat this is the node at bonded surface, that is T1, and this is the T infinity. So this is Q1, which suffers that LF by Kf as resistance. A I am not writing because we are finding out the heat flux Q by A. So therefore here resistance is this, okay, and this resistance is 1 by Hf, and here this resistance is Ls by Ks. So this is the electrical network. That means you can generate this way, that Q1 is equal to Q1 by A, which is equal to T1 minus Ti. This is the this is the Ti node divided by Ls by Ks. Okay, and Q2 is Q2 by A, which is equal to T1 minus T infinity, as we did earlier, 1 by H plus, that is H, not HF, because only one side H is there, not F is not required, by LF by KF, because it is a series problem. That means the heat which is going through the film first crosses the conduction resistance of the film, then the convection resistance. And the heat which is going through the substrate only through the conduction, because the end surface temperature is given. So this is the electrical network. So therefore, you can find out both Q1 and Q2, because all these things are given. LF, KF, LS, KS, T1, Ti, T1, T infinity, and you can find out the value of Q. Is there any problem? Q2. This is Q2. Very good. This is not written. This is Q2 going to the film. I am very happy that you are minutely listening to my lecture, that this is Q1. Very good. So this is everything is given to cure the bond at 60 degrees Celsius. T1 is, otherwise how can you solve 60 degrees Celsius? The bond surface temperature is given. The problem reads, oh, you have not seen, to cure the bond at a temperature T0, okay, this T0 is 60 degrees Celsius, all of which is absorbed. The back surface is maintained at Ti, while the free surface is exposed to T infinity. Now the T0 is 60 degrees Celsius, it is given. Clear? Any problem? Now the answer is, what is the answer? If you do it, you have to see that the answer is 2833. The answer is Q0 double dash is 2833 watt per meter square. 2833 watt per meter. Now, if the problem is stated this way, that radiant heat is incident on the film surface where the film acts as an opaque material, then what you will do? Tell me. If film acts as an opaque material, then what you will do? That means this heat is not totally being transported to the surface. Then what you will do? Think and try to do it. This is your problem, that if the film is acting as not a totally transparent medium, as an opaque medium, then what you will do and which data you require. Trust me, who has told that? Very good boy. That means you have to know what percentage of the heat is going through that from the surface. And in that case, this side, the heat will fall and go by convection, one part, and another part will suffer a series resistance heat transfer, conductive resistance of the film, conduction resistance of the substrate. That means we have to know the percentage of the heat that is being transmitted. If the film is totally opaque, things will not work, because heat will not reach to the bonded surface. So therefore, in that case, heat is incident on it and will be lost there, and the percentage which will go there will go through this way. Okay?